13 WMAZ weather, sponsored by Vera of Central Georgia.
5:09 on this Thursday morning. Obviously taking a look at our weather with Alex. Another day that's really hot with some of those heat warnings out there, Alex.
Exactly. We're not looking at the temperatures that we had Monday and Tuesday, very thankfully, but it's still kind of the same weather pattern. You're going to be hot throughout the first half of the day, and then as you go later in the afternoon, you have a better chance of catching a scattered shower, maybe even a storm in nature. But that pattern all changes by the time we get to Saturday, and we'll talk a little bit about that in just a moment. But back to school in Dooley County, so areas like Unadilla, Vienna, and Byronville, all of you kids will be heading back to the classroom today. Currently sitting at 75 degrees and a high temperature of 95 degrees later on this afternoon. Here's a look at your temperatures across central Georgia, low to mid and some upper 70s on your temperature map. Taking a look at the dew points. Once again, it's nice and swampy. You're noticing the humidity probably before anything else before you head out the door. Your satellite and radar picture, it's all clear in our neck of the woods, but if you are heading out on the road, maybe traveling up I-75 north, probably catching some flashes of lightning in the distance, but don't worry, that's nothing to fret about. Those are going to be thunderstorms closer to the I-85 corridor near the Lake Hartwell area, getting into Clemson, South Carolina. So those thunderstorms are a good ways away from us. Talking about our surface map right now, because we finally have a big scale weather feature that's going to impact your forecast. It's going to be this boundary up to the north and the northwest. It's going to kick into gear later today and continue to slowly push towards the south and the southeast. But it's going to be some time before that necessarily impacts our forecast. So before we get there, like I said, continuing with the heat and the afternoon rain chances that continue into the evening and nighttime hours. Back to school in Jones, Dooley, Taylor, and Lamar counties today. High temperature of 97 if you dodge the rain for a majority of the afternoon. But if you do catch some rain, those numbers are probably not going to warm up as much. So speaking of the heat, we are in our fourth day in a row under some form of a heat alert here in central Georgia. A heat advisory going for feels like temperatures up to 107 all across central Georgia. Now this goes until 8 p.m. tonight, but I do imagine at least some counties in central Georgia will be extended into another heat advisory for tomorrow. So scattered rain popping up sometime in the middle of the afternoon. That was about 4 o'clock right there. A couple of storms that will hold on into the evening and nighttime hours. And it's a rinse and repeat forecast for your Friday. But take a look at what Future View is doing. Actually, maybe some of this rain clearing out for any of your Friday night plans, which would be very nice because Saturday and Sunday are not looking to be the most conducive for any afternoon plans. You can see that cloud cover builds into the forecast early on throughout the morning and then starting to get to lunchtime on Saturday. It's going to stick around for quite a while. Future View is hinting at this boundary stalling in our southernmost counties, so that's where you're going to start to see better chances of rain. The farther north that you live, you could actually have some cooler and drier air settling in behind a wedge setup that will start to filter in behind our frontal boundary. But nonetheless, everyone's temperatures will be cooler. Highs are going to hang out in the 80s for a good stretch of a couple of days, all the way through the first half of next week. But it's going to come at the cost of some gloomy and some messy weather all weekend and the beginning of next week.